What comes to mind when you think of Israel? Ancient temples, holy cities, or desert landscapes? Sure, those are true, but there's so much more that will completely catch you off guard. From jaw-droppingly beautiful women and men who seem like they stepped out of a movie, to food that fuses flavors from 3 continents, Israel has surprises tucked into every corner. Add in the shocking cost of living, beaches that rival the Caribbean, and nightlife that goes until sunrise. And suddenly, this tiny country feels larger than life. Ready to dive into 15 mind-blowing facts? Number 15. Israel's stunning women and men. Step off a plane in Tel Aviv and you'll probably ask yourself, wait, did I just walk onto a fashion runway? Israel is famous for having some of the world's most attractive people. And it's not just hype. This tiny country has produced international supermodels like Bar Raffaele, Gallardo, and countless others who've made waves in Hollywood and the fashion scene. But here's the thing, beauty here isn't only about looks. There's a confident, vibrant energy you'll feel on the streets, in the cafes, and especially at the beaches. Tel Aviv's Gordon Beach or Hatzah's Golden Shores. They're like open-air catwalks and nightlife. Think sun-kissed skin, stylish outfits, and people who know how to have a good time. Israelis are also known for fitness. With mandatory military service shaping young adults early on, it's no surprise the country is full of toned, athletic bodies. Add Mediterranean genes, sun, and a health-conscious culture, and you've got the perfect mix. Now, here's a travel tip. Being around all this glam comes with a price tag. Drinks in Tel Aviv clubs, easily $12 to $15 a cocktail. Fancy restaurants or beach bars. Expect big city prices, often higher than New York. So, yes, the scene is glamorous and full of beautiful people, but it isn't cheap to join in. The question is, would you rather watch from the sidelines or dive right into Israel's dazzling social life? Number 14, a cuisine that mixes the world. Hungry in Israel? Prepare yourself, because the food here is a traveler's dream. Think about it. Where else can you wake up with shakshuka, a skillet of eggs bubbling in tomato and spices, grab falafel on the street for lunch, and finish the day with gourmet seafood straight from the Mediterranean? Israeli cuisine is wild because it's a mashup of cultures. Jewish communities brought flavors from Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East. Add local Arab, Druze, and Bedouin traditions, and you've got a plate that tells a global story. Falafel and hummus, iconic, but they're just the start. Sabaje, a pia stuffed with eggplant, egg, and tahini. Shawarma dripping with flavor, and jaknan, a slow-cooked Yemenite pastry eaten on Shabbat mornings, are just a few of the hidden gems. In Tel Aviv and Jerusalem, you'll also find cutting-edge fusion restaurants blending old traditions with modern flair. Ever tried sushi with tahini drizzle? Only here. But here's the money talk. Israel isn't a budget foodie paradise. Street food like falafel or sabich might cost $4 to $6. But sit-down meals in trendy restaurants easily $20 to $40 per person. Coffee culture is strong too, but don't expect it cheap. Your cappuccino will likely be $3 to $5. Still, most travelers agree every bite is worth it because this isn't just eating, it's tasting the world in one country. So, would you spend a little extra for the ultimate flavor-packed adventure? Number 13, the cost of living shock. Think traveling in Israel is going to be like any other Mediterranean getaway. Hold that thought. Your wallet will feel the heat before the desert sun does. Israel regularly ranks among the world's most expensive countries, with Tel Aviv even crowned the priciest city on earth in recent years. Shocking, right? The high-tech boom and limited land drive costs sky high, and tourists definitely notice. Let's break it down. A simple cappuccino at a cafe. Expect $4 to $5. Street food like falafel or shawarma might look cheap, but at $6 to $8 per wrap, it adds up quickly. A casual restaurant dinner for two can easily hit $60 to $80. Before drinks, want to sip cocktails at a trendy Tel Aviv rooftop bar? That'll be around $12 to $15 each. Even grocery store basics surprise visitors. A bottle of water often costs more than in Paris or New York. Accommodation. Hotels in Tel Aviv or Jerusalem average $200 to $300 a night, and even hosts can charge $30 to $50 for a shared dorm. Transportation also bites. A short taxi ride can easily run you $15, while car rentals are notorious for being pricey with insurance add-ons. So here's the traveler's dilemma. Israel offers incredible beaches, nightlife, and culture, but at a premium. The trick is balancing street eats with splurges or using budget hacks like local markets and shared taxis. The question is, are you ready for a destination that dazzles but doesn't come cheap? Number 12, floating effortlessly in the Dead Sea. Imagine stepping into water where sinking isn't even an option. Sounds impossible, right? Welcome to the Dead Sea, one of Earth's most surreal natural wonders. At over 30% salinity, nearly 10 times saltier than the ocean, it's a place where your body pops up like a cork. Travelers from across the world come here for that famous floating photo, and trust me, it never disappoints. But the Dead Sea isn't just about floating. Locals and tourists alike slather themselves in its mineral-rich mud, believed to have healing properties for the skin. Spa resorts along the shore market it as nature's luxury treatment, offering mud wraps and salt scrubs that cost anywhere from $50 to $150 per session. Even just scooping it up yourself on the beach feels like a free spa day. Here's another fun fact. The Dead Sea sits at the lowest point on Earth, about 1,400 ft below sea level. The air is dense and rich in oxygen, making it oddly refreshing to breathe despite the desert heat. The views are equally jaw-dropping, with turquoise waters framed by golden mountains and Jordan visible across the way. Money talk. Public beaches may cost around $15 to $20 for entry, while private resorts can charge $30 to $50 for access to lounges, showers, and spa extras. Add transport from Jerusalem or Tel Aviv, and you're looking at another $40 to $70 round trip. But once you're floating weightlessly, sun on your face, salt tingling on your skin, you'll realize this is one of those rare travel splurges worth every penny. Number 11, the Startup Nation. Why is Israel called the Startup Nation? Because no other country turns out innovation quite like this tiny land. With just over 9 million people, Israel has more startups per capita than anywhere else in the world. That means if you're walking through Tel Aviv, chances are you're passing the office of a company that might become the next Waze or Moili, both billion-dollar Israeli creations. What drives this entrepreneurial explosion? Military service for one. The famous Unit 82,000 trains young minds in cybersecurity and intelligence, and many veterans spin those skills into tech ventures. Add a culture that celebrates risk-taking, and you've got a recipe for non-stop invention. Israel is a global leader in biotech, water-saving technologies, and AI, which is why it's often compared to Silicon Valley, just smaller and hotter. Travelers feel the startup vibe everywhere. Tel Aviv cafes double as remote offices, co-working hubs buzz with international energy, and you'll find tech conferences year-round. Curious visitors can even book tours of local innovation hubs or join networking events. Now, let's talk costs. Tel Aviv's tech scene makes the city one of the priciest in the world. Grabbing a quick working lunch around $15 to $20. Renting a desk in a co-working space, expect $300 to $500 monthly, which tells you how lucrative the scene is. Still, visiting the World Startup Lab gives travelers an unmatched peek at the future. So, would you rather just read about tomorrow's tech or see it being built live? Quick pause here. Tell us in the comments what you think so far, then don't forget to subscribe and like before we move on. Number 10, Tel Aviv's party capital vibe. Think IA is wild, or maybe Berlin. Tel Aviv will blow both out of the water. Known as the city that never sleeps, Tel Aviv has carved out a reputation as one of the best nightlife hubs on the planet. Here, the fun doesn't start until midnight, and it doesn't end until sunrise. Picture this: rooftop bars with panoramic Mediterranean views, underground clubs pulsing with electronic beats, and beach parties where the sand becomes one giant dance floor. DJs from around the globe flock here, and festivals like Tel Aviv Pride transform the city into a rainbow-colored street carnival. The energy is magnetic. You don't just go out in Tel Aviv, you live the night. But how much does this legendary nightlife cost? Drinks are not cheap. Cocktails typically run $12 to $15. A beer can set you back $8, and club entry fees range from $20 to $40. Some high-profile venues even demand table reservations that can push into the hundreds. On the flip side, budget-friendly beach bars and local hangouts still exist, so savvy travelers can party without completely torching their wallets. What makes it truly special is the mix of people, from artists to entrepreneurs, soldiers to surfers. Everyone mingles together. And unlike some cities, safety at night is surprisingly high. You'll find packed streets and buzzing energy long past 3 a.m. Tel Aviv proves that nightlife isn't just about clubs. It's about community, music, and freedom. The real question is, do you have the stamina to keep up? Number 9. 4 seasons in one day. How many countries can boast of snow, desert, beaches, and lush green hills all in a single road trip? Israel is tiny on the map, but its climate is like 4 different worlds packed into one. Travelers often joke that you can ski in the morning and sunbathe in the afternoon, and honestly, it's true. Up north, Mount Hermon offers real winter vibes with ski resorts, snowboarding, and hot chocolate moments that feel straight out of Europe. A lift pass there around $40 to $60 per day. Drive a couple of hours south and suddenly you're surrounded by Galilee's rolling green hills, wineries, and freshwater lakes perfect for kayaking. Move further down and you'll hit Tel Aviv's Mediterranean beaches, golden sands, turquoise waves, and a laid-back vibe that feels like summer never ends. Keep going, and within hours, you're in the Negev desert, where the heat can hit over 100 degrees F. The landscapes shift dramatically. Think red canyons, Bedouin camps, and stargazing that feels like another planet. And the ultimate kicker, this whole journey could fit into a single day's drive. Number 8, Jerusalem. Layers of history. Few cities on earth hit you with the same intensity as Jerusalem. Walk through its ancient walls and you're not just sightseeing. You're stepping into 3,000 years of history, layered one on top of the other. This city is sacred to Jews, Christians, and Muslims, which means every corner holds a story that shaped civilizations. Start with the Old City. The Western Wall, the holiest site in Judaism, buzzes with prayer and tradition. A few steps away, the Church of the Holy Sepulchre draws Christian pilgrims to the spot believed to hold Jesus' tomb. Climb a bit higher, and the golden dome of the rock shines like a beacon, sacred to Muslims worldwide. Where else can you find three of the world's great religions sharing the same few square miles? But Jerusalem isn't just history, it's a living, breathing city. The McCain Yehuda market explodes with spices, fresh par, halva, and street musicians, turning shopping into a full sensory show. A meal here around $10 to $15 for street food, or closer to $30 to $40 if you sit down in a modern Israeli restaurant, blending tradition with new flair. Accommodation also spans extremes. Budget hosts start at $25 per night, while luxury hotels overlooking the old city can soar above $400. Number 7, coffee culture like nowhere else. Think Italy owns coffee culture, or maybe Turkey. Israel will surprise you. This country is obsessed with coffee. And it's not just about the drink, it's about the lifestyle. Walk down any street in Tel Aviv or Jerusalem and you'll see packed cafes morning to night. Deals are signed here, friends catch up, and students spend hours working away with a latte in hand. Coffee isn't rushed, it's a ritual. The local favorite is Cafe Hafuch, literally upside down coffee. Imagine a latte, but creamier, smoother, and uniquely Israeli. Then there's the strong cardamom spiced Turkish-style brew, served in tiny cups that pack a punch. International chains like Starbucks try to enter Israel, but fail miserably. Locals said no thanks, preferring their own rich traditions and independent cafes. For travelers, this culture means one thing. Don't expect a quick grab and go. You sit down, sip, and soak in the vibe. Prices. A cappuccino or cafe haush usually runs $3 to $5, which adds up if you're cafe hopping all day. But the experience watching life unfold around you is priceless. Markets like Machen Yehuda in Jerusalem or Dizengo Street in Tel Aviv are lined with quirky coffee shops, offering everything from single origin Ethiopian beans to hipster cold brews. Many cafes also double as social hubs at night, serving wine and cocktails after dark. Number 6, military service shapes the culture. Step into Israel and you'll notice something right away. Everyone looks young, confident, and disciplined. That's because military service is mandatory for most citizens. 3 years for men, 2 years for women. It's not just a duty, it's a cultural cornerstone that shapes how Israelis think, work, and interact. For travelers, this influence is visible everywhere. The army creates a shared experience across society. That young entrepreneur pitching a startup probably learned leadership in the army. The bartender in Tel Aviv maybe just finished service. Even the country's famous resilience and direct communication style often trace back to military training. The army also explains Israel's incredible tech boom. Elite units like 8,200 train in cybersecurity, intelligence, and engineering. And many veterans turn those skills into world-changing startups. That's why Israel is nicknamed the Startup Nation. But what does this mean for visitors? For one, you'll see soldiers in uniform everywhere, on buses, in cafes, even carrying their rifles home on weekends. Far from being intimidating, it's just everyday life here. You might even end up chatting with young recruits who are as curious about your travels as you are about their service. Money talk. Military service itself doesn't directly affect tourist prices, but the culture it creates does. Israel's focus on innovation and security contributes to its high cost of living. Restaurants, nightlife, and even transportation all reflect a society that invests heavily in defense and technology. A taxi in Tel Aviv can easily hit $15 for a short ride, and bar drinks average $12. Hold on a second, drop a comment with your thoughts, and make sure to subscribe and like before we continue. Number 5, beaches that feel like paradise. What if I told you that Israel has beaches that rival the Caribbean, but with way more character? The Mediterranean coastline stretches for over 170 meters, and every spot has its own vibe. Tel Aviv's Gordon and Freshman beaches, pure energy, packed with volleyball games, surfers, and tanned locals who look like models. If you want something calmer, head to Herzliya or Caesarea, where history and golden sands meet. Down south on the Red Sea offers coral reefs and snorkeling that feels like swimming in an aquarium. But here's the catch. Paradise isn't always cheap. Renting a lounge chair, an umbrella along Tel Aviv's hot spots will set you back around $15 to $20. Cocktails by the shore about $12 each. Even simple snacks like watermelon with feta, a beach classic, cost more here than in nearby countries. On the bright side, the beaches themselves are free, so you can enjoy the sea without spending a dime if you skip the extras. Number 4, a wine tradition older than Rome. Think France or Italy invented fine wine. Israel's vineyards have been producing it for thousands of years, long before Rome's empire even existed. Ancient amphorae and biblical references prove that wine has been central to life here since antiquity. Today, that tradition is thriving with a modern twist. Head to the Golan Heights or Galilee, and you'll find boutique wineries crafting award-winning reds and crisp whites. Some even sit on ancient terrace hillsides where grapes have been grown for centuries. What makes Israeli wine special? The unique climate. Mediterranean sunshine mixed with cool nights creates bold, complex flavors. For travelers, vineyard tours are a must. You'll taste everything from Cabernet Sauvignon to indigenous varietals, often paired with local cheeses and olives. Prices. Tastings usually run $15 to $25, while bottles range from $20 to $60 depending on the winery. High-end labels can hit $100 plus, but even budget-friendly wines here punch above their weight. So, whether you're a casual sipper or a serious connoisseur, drinking wine in Israel isn't just about the glass in your hand. It's about sipping history itself. The real question is, are you ready to toast with a vintage that's literally older than empires? Number 3, the desert bloom. How do you make a desert bloom? Israel figured it out. The Negev desert, once thought lifeless, is now bursting with vineyards, flower fields, and futuristic farms. Thanks to cutting-edge irrigation technology, Israel turned dry sand into fertile land, and the results are jaw-dropping. Imagine sipping wine in a vineyard where camels once roamed, or walking through greenhouses producing cherry tomatoes exported worldwide. Travelers can see this magic firsthand. Kibbutz tours let you explore desert farms, taste fresh produce, and even try local wines. Costs vary, but guided tours often start around $30 to $50, while tastings add a little more. Overnight dessert stays in eco-lodges or Bedouin tents around $60 to $100 with meals included. What makes it truly surreal is the contrast. You can stand in the middle of the desert heat, yet be surrounded by lush crops and blooming flowers. It's not just farming, it's a symbol of resilience, innovation, and survival in one of the harshest landscapes on earth. The desert bloom shows travelers that Israel isn't only about history, it's also about reimagining the future. Would you expect to find vineyards and olive groves in the middle of the sand? Here, that's everyday reality. Number 2, festivals full of energy. If you thought Israel was all about ancient ruins and solemn sites, think again. This country knows how to throw a party. Festivals here are explosive, colorful, and packed with energy. Purim, for example, turns cities into giant costume parades like Halloween. mixed with matira. Then there's Independence Day, when the skies light up with fireworks and the streets transform into one huge outdoor celebration. Music lovers. The desert hosts wild electronic festivals where DJs keep crowds dancing until sunrise, while Tel Aviv Pride draws visitors from all over the world to one of the biggest LGBTQ plus parades on earth. Religious holidays like Passover or Hanukkah are just as vibrant, with food, tradition, and family gatherings spilling out onto the streets. But let's talk costs. Many public festivals like Purim parades are free, making them perfect for budget travelers. Big-name concerts or electronic festivals, however, can cost $60 to $100 for entry, while nightlife events around the celebrations quickly add up with $12 cocktails and $20 cover charges. Accommodation prices also spike during major festivals, so booking early is key. Festivals in Israel aren't just events, they're cultural experiences that pull you right into the heartbeat of the nation. The real challenge, choosing which one to dive into first. Number one, a melting pot of cultures. Step into Israel and you're basically stepping into one of the most diverse crossroads of humanity on the planet. Think about it. A place where Jewish, Arab, Druze, Armenian, Bedouin, and countless immigrant communities from all corners of the world live side by side, shaping daily life. You'll hear Hebrew, Arabic, Russian, Amharic, and English, all before you've even finished your morning coffee. And food, oh, that's where it gets really exciting. Hummus with Yemeni breads, falafel alongside Ethiopian stews, French-style pastries next to Iraqi kebabs. Every meal feels like a world tour. But it's not just about flavors, it's about traditions. Walk through Jerusalem's old city and you'll see Christian pilgrims tracing Jesus' steps, while a few streets away, Muslims are heading into Al-Aqsa for prayers and Jewish families are visiting the Western Wall. Tel Aviv tells another story altogether. Nightlife fueled by young immigrants and influences from Europe, Africa, and the Middle East. Festivals highlight this mix too, from Moroccan Mimouna feasts to Ethiopian Sig celebrations. Travelers should know, though, that multicultural beauty comes with some cost layers. Eating at local joints is affordable, but dive into fusion fine dining in Tel Aviv and you're easily spending $50 to $70 a head. Still, the richness of cultures blending here is worth every cent. It's not just a trip, it's an experience of worlds colliding in one tiny country. And that wraps it up. Israel isn't just a destination. It's a storybook of cultures, flavors, and experiences waiting to be lived. If you've enjoyed this journey, don't keep it to yourself. Hit subscribe, drop a like, and share this video so more travelers can join the adventure.